What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we are going to dive deep into the facts, okay? Did this guy, who's emotionally unavailable, did he actually like you, or was it just a game to him? Was he just trying to play the game to get in your pants, have fun, fill some voids, and then skip away, okay? So, jumping right into this, I'm going to give you good news and I'm going to give you bad news. The good news is, in my opinion, being an emotionally unavailable guy throughout his 20s and having thousands of clients in this situation as a dating coach, I would say a huge majority of them are talking to men who, and we're talking about emotionally unavailable men here, of all the emotionally unavailable situations that came to me, women that came to me, the guy did like her. Your guy does find you attractive, does think you're interesting, did mean a majority of the shit he says. But that's not the problem, ladies. A lot of women want to know, and leave in the comments why you want to know this. A lot of women want to know if the guy actually liked her or not. And the reason I'm telling you to do this is because of the bad news. That's not the thing that will determine if a man leaves or stays. Now, obviously, a man's not going to stay if he doesn't like you. But on the opposite end, a man can like you and still leave. Now, why is this? I tell women that in the very beginning, and that can mean several months in, 1, 2, 3 months, okay? You will be talking to a guy who has this idea that you are the answer, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? That you are the missing puzzle piece. Why does he think this? Because before you, he's probably had no one. Maybe he hasn't dated in a while. Maybe his ex cheated on him. Maybe he's recently divorced or single, right? And then a fine-ass woman like yourself, which of course you are, you're watching my video, so we know you're smart, okay? Smart, fine-ass woman comes by and you guys just hit it off. You're hanging out, you're having fun, you're hooking up. He's blowing your shit up. He's taking you on dates. He's wanting to see you. He's initiating. He's saying all these things where you're like, well, I mean, I didn't know I was that fucking great, but okay. Like, right? He's telling you all these crazy things, and you're just eating it all up. The problem with this, though, ladies, and I say this all the time, is in the beginning, it's like a blank canvas. It's two people talking to each other who like the assets. And assets just aren't sex. Assets can be anything that pulls me towards what I want. Therefore, maybe I want a relationship. Now, there's a difference between wanting a relationship and being able to have a relationship. We'll get into that. But maybe I see you as this cool-ass girl. You are filling a void to some extent, but I don't know that. I just know what I feel. I'm having fun, you're attractive, it's nice to be getting it in once in a while, going to the bedroom Olympics, and we connect. However, for me to get those things, obviously there has to be some type of context building up. Context always builds up. There's no way to eliminate context. I mean, the things you guys do and say that layers over time and creates like this dynamic of the relationship. And usually it means something more serious, like it's progressing. For me to get these things, obviously it has to progress. I have to invest in you. We have to see each other. We have to hook up. We have to talk. Unless you guys have just some weird kinky shit where you don't fucking see each other and talk, and you just I don't know, stare at each other. Maybe do like geese, like what they neck each other or something. You do some of that weird shit. I don't know, whatever you're into, but context builds up, and it gets to a point now where those assets come at a cost. Okay, they didn't come at a cost in the beginning because there was no dynamic, there's no context. It's just two people having fun. But now you're talking to a guy who feels obligated to give you more. And it's really easy to say I want a relationship until it's put in front of me and I have to make a choice, right? It's easy to say how much I want a Ferrari until someone pulls up with one and says, hey, here you go. It's just $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month. Then you're like, I don't really need a Ferrari. Like, fuck, who needs that? Like, whatever. dating is literally no different, ladies. If you're talking to an emotionally unavailable man, I would argue a lot of the times that all the stuff you guys are doing, all the stuff that he's saying, these experiences that you guys are having, this bond that you are creating, you get the effing idea here. It's pretty genuine for the most part. And when I say pretty genuine, I mean I do think, there are guys where, he's just doing it for fun and he knows he can't give you a relationship. But I truly believe in the very beginning, a lot of guys don't realize that. A guy's not going to go in with this and be like, I know I can't give her a relationship, but I'm going to act like I can give her one. I'm going to tell her I can give her one, but I know 3 months out, I can't give her one. So in 3 months, I'm going to bring it up and start acting fucking. Guys don't think like that. You have to think of it like this too, right? So let's flip it. Let's look at it from another perspective. I'm not going to go into this as a guy, an emotionally unavailable man, and think, hey, I'm effed up. Something's wrong with me. I'm a loser. I can't have a real, he's not going to downplay himself like that. They eventually do when they start opening up and talking to you and maybe feel guilty for leading you on because they realize, along the way that they can't give you it. But he's not going to go in and two things. He's not going to go in and know that it's doomed from the beginning and just leads you on for 3 months, number one. Number two, a guy's not going to ostracize all women and push all women away in his life just because he's emotionally unavailable. He wants to try. He wants to fix it. He wants this experience with you. It just is unfortunate that when push comes to shove and the context builds up, he can't give you that. He gets in his own head, he freaks out, and then you see a different man the following day or the following week. Now, I always tell women, I think it's more genuine when you see a flip. And this sounds weird, but when you see a flip in his behavior, and when you see a flip all of a sudden, women will be like, well, he didn't really like me if he could just give it away that easy. That could be true for some of the instances, but for a lot, like I said, when push comes to shove and you're talking to an emotionally unavailable man, his mind is not logical. It is not the same as yours and mine right now. It's survival mode. I gotta push things away. I gotta stop this stress. I'm tired of it. I know I can't give her a relationship. I'm just wasting time, right? And he starts pushing shit away. So when you get a guy who flips like this, that's how you know what I'm trying to get at is. That's how you know it's context. That's how you know he's emotionally unavailable. Because when you truly like somebody, right? I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit. It doesn't flip like that, right? It doesn't flip like that unless you're emotionally unavailable. And I always tell women too, sometimes these guys will break up with you for the dumbest reasons. And I'll tell my clients that, hey, no matter how great you guys had it, no matter how great you are for him, if he's emotionally unavailable, he will find a reason. And these guys will have the dumbest reasons, okay? So don't beat yourself up over it, ladies. Watch this video and think of it as some clarity. What you had with this guy. Now, let me backtrack. If you were talking to this guy for a couple weeks and then he pulls away, you guys didn't have fucking shit. I don't care what he told you. If you were talking to this guy for a month and then he starts acting a fool, yeah, you didn't have shit. But if you guys were actually dating and it was consistent, and I don't mean consistent in terms of how many times you see them, I just mean how consistent it was over time. Like if you're talking to a guy for 2 or 3 months and you're seeing him once a week and it felt like a relationship and then you get a switch like that, yeah, I would say what you have was pretty genuine. But if you're talking to a guy and you're watching this video thinking if this guy meant anything to you and you guys are only fucking talking for 28 days, get that shit out of here, woman. Get your ass back on the apps. Next. Like, come on. I know I don't mean to be mean, but it is what it is. So if there was actually some substance there, okay, yet the man's emotionally unavailable and it doesn't work out, I would argue that for a huge majority of you, yes, you probably watching this, even if you're second guessing it, it was probably real to some extent, okay? So if you want to get a session with me or my guides, we can go over this all day, okay? It's an hour-long private session. Yours truly, link is down below, along with my guides. Ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace. So about 8 minutes.